Today we're going to be unboxing, setting up, and reviewing a GameCube style controller for Nintendo Switch. It retails for $32 and is a substantial upgrade over an original GameCube controller. We're going to compare them in this video. It has a slick Pikachu design, feels good in the hand, and is the definitive controller to play GameCube games on Switch. Let's get it. So this is a GameCube controller for the Nintendo Switch. It is a licensed Nintendo product sold by PowerA. It does currently retail for $32 on Amazon, and it says right on the front, compatible with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I don't know why they have to note that. If it works with the Switch, it should work with damn near any game you put in there. Now, what PowerA does best is their budget or entry-level controllers. Their flagship high-end controllers, like the PowerA Fusion Pro 1 and 2, are simply sacks of trash in comparison to other premium controllers, but their budget or entry-level controllers, like the Spectra for Xbox, which retails for $30, is a phenomenal value. So if you are on a budget and you don't mind being wired with controllers like that, hey, PowerA is where you want to look. Got a nice little pull tab here. It doesn't allow you to get your controller out, but it does allow you to play a fun little game where you bounce the box up and down. There we go. Got to be smarter than the packaging. Now, I did just review another PowerA controller for Switch, and this bad boy is a little bit more traditional in its design, as it is shaped identically to a Nintendo Pro controller, and it does have two remappable buttons. But the main reason I wheeled this bad boy out for display purposes is to show you that these two controllers would actually go pretty damn good with each other on display. Why? Pokemon and Mario. Two very well-known Nintendo exclusives. We'll touch on this controller in just a minute here. So you have this instruction pamphlet or brochure over here. I really don't like these type of instruction manuals that fold out like Christopher Columbus's personal map to your mom's house. I prefer ones that just open like a traditional book. Relatively low quality parchment, the ink isn't fine or imported, no color, but if you're colorblind you won't even tell the difference. There are pictures in here. Relatively small font, and my corneas don't work like they did 10 years ago, so I gotta really get right up in the grill of this instruction manual to read what's going on here. It is descriptive, gives you a breakout of all the different buttons, ports, and features. I don't know how to read, so I don't even know why I was looking at that. It does include two AA batteries, which is awesome because a lot of times with cheap controllers, they're not going to include batteries. You got to go steal them out of your mom's toy box, we'll say. Battery tray door is right here on the back. You pull down. Okay, you have a little sticker in here letting you know to upgrade the controller to its latest firmware update or patch. So I have an actual licensed GameCube controller over here in absolutely disgusting condition. In fact, I should be wearing latex gloves to even handle this. I haven't touched this controller since I got it when I bought my Wii used about 4 years ago. In case you guys were not aware, the Wii has full backward compatibility with the GameCube and actually has 4 controller ports where you can plug in the original GameCube controller, which is pretty cool. I have this out here for comparison purposes of how the buttons feel as well as the ergonomics. Ergonomically, it is the identical shell design as a licensed or original GameCube controller. Analog stick feels absolutely identical. Same thing with the C analog niblet. It's not even a stick. It's like a little giblet that sticks out of there. I don't know, weird. The D-pad is not only substantially bigger on this new version, but it is also rubberized, as where this is hard plastic, so I like the new D-pad quite a bit better. Obviously, this just has a start/pause button, and this has the Nintendo Switch suite of system buttons, and obviously the 4 LEDs to let you know that you are paired up. Okay, bumpers and triggers are completely different. On the original, they are linear, as in you can squeeze them in different amounts, and there's only one bumper button, which is called Z. And over here on the Switch version, they are not linear, they are all or nothing. They're 0 to 100 real quick. They're not squeezable triggers, they're more just like tappable buttons. And you do have 2 bumpers. Face buttons, that is probably the most important part of this controller, considering a lot of people are going to be playing things like Smash with this and just absolutely molly-whopping these face buttons. Why do I assume that people are going to be playing a lot of Smash with this? There is a huge competitive Smash scene out there of people that genuinely love the GameCube controller for Smash because of this button layout. Because you can have your thumb on A and then basically just roll your thumb around to press Y and X. These are super squishy. They are a membrane design, so they have a rubber plunger underneath the shell here, and they're very quiet for one. Not satisfying to hit at all. In fact, you even second guess yourself, did I actually press the button? Did it actuate? As we're over here, you get a nice satisfying tactile click. They're not mechanical or anything. Tactile click. these new face buttons feel substantially better. Now, one thing I do not like about this controller immediately is it feels incredibly cheap and chintzy. The plastics that they use here feel very, very thin and also just very low quality because it's a cheap controller. That doesn't really matter if you take care of this controller because you're not going to be dropping it or anything. It just feels a little cheap is all. Now, I do like the Pikachu design on there. However, I will say it is a little bit bland. The only real graphic on here is in this little chin or center section over here. I think they could have done a lot more with the graphic on the front shell. There's literally no graphics on the back here. They could have made the bumpers and triggers red and blue, but this is just a really bland vanilla missionary position on a Saturday night with the lights off kind of controller. You know what I mean? This is the kind of controller that I would disassemble, hydro dip it with a nice little Pokemon graphic on the back, maybe change the face buttons out to some Pokeballs or something. For a normal person that is satisfied with, you know, like really bland stock shit, this would probably be right up your Diagon alley. I actually do like the ergonomics of the GameCube controller. I did when it came out, and I do now. It is weird. It is quirky. For example, the triggers are kind of a half pipe or a little half circle that your finger rests in, which is kind of weird. And obviously the face button design is wonky and unlike anything else out there. Then you got this weird right analog stick, which is just hard plastic and doesn't have a tip or cap to it, which is kind of weird. So it is definitely a quirky and wonky controller, but I will say I still enjoy them. And whenever I do play GameCube games, either emulating them on my PC or playing them on the Switch, I prefer to have an actual GameCube controller to give me that true to original experience. Let's get this bad boy paired up to the Switch, shall we? Pairing a new controller to a Nintendo Switch is very simple. Come over here to controllers, then change grip/order. Then on the new controller that you're trying to pair, you are going to hold down the sync button and then press both of the triggers simultaneously, and you are paired up. This is a good looking controller, but it is a little bit bland, and I would use this as a starting point or a base to do some light customization. There are a couple of things you can do that you do not need to disassemble or paint anything. For example, putting on some thumbstick caps that are little slip-on Pokeballs. That would look really cool. Removing these two stickers back here, which I'm sure will void the warranty, but is PowerA really going to honor a warranty on a $30 controller? Probably not. I would remove these stickers, then maybe put a circular Pokeball sticker back here. I think that would look really cool. And if you want to do something a little more in-depth, you could paint this battery tray door either red or blue. And if you want to get real spicy, I would recommend repainting the D-pad, face buttons, bumpers, and triggers. Controller customization 101 with AK40 Kevin. After getting more stick time with the GameCube style Switch controller, I am a fan. I think it is a substantial upgrade over the original GameCube controller, and the fact that it wirelessly connects to the Switch just like a standard Pro controller and has all the buttons and functionality that the Switch requires, I think this is a great controller. Anytime I launch a GameCube game on my Switch, it is going to be this controller that I grab. This controller is $32 on Amazon. It is linked in the description below. If you enjoyed this honest controller review, liking it will help it to get seen by more gamers. This information will reach and assist them as well. Subscribe for more content like this. I cover news in the gaming community and industry, as well as tutorials helping you get set up streaming and YouTubing, and honest gaming peripheral reviews, keyboards, mice, headsets, controllers, mics, chairs, etc. Check me out at Facebook Gaming, where I am a partner and upload exclusive gameplay content. I do have a link to my merch store, as well as exclusive discount codes for several products down there in the description below, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.